Hours after our episode went live yesterday, Paxos, PayPal, and Stellar announced that they have officially gotten the green light to issue PayPal USD on the XLM network. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break down what this means. We have been hitting on it for the last couple of months, and now the day has finally arrived. If you're new, welcome. My name is Wade. You're listening to another edition of DHN Crypto. In addition to the PayPal announcement, Archax also officially announced that Stellar would be embedded into their tokenization platform. This is pretty big. If you remember, Archax was the tokenization platform that brought a BlackRock managed fund to Hedera. And taking a look at Archax's recent work, they've been pretty busy, guys. So let's dive into it. Don't forget, if you need more crypto intel, if you want more crypto intel, head over to digitalhustlenetwork.net. I actually just published a digital ebook that tells you everything you need to know about the Stellar network. If you're a holder of Stellar, this is invaluable information and you can't get it anywhere else. So let's dive into these stories, guys. Let's start with Archax and Stellar. I feel we've been talking a lot on PayPal and Stellar, but this Archax move is very interesting. And the question I want to ask is, what can they create together? So the details of this arrangement: XLM, Stellar Development Foundation, will be making an investment into Archax. And alongside that, Archax has already tokenized one of its money market funds on the XLM network. This setup arrangement, appears to look a lot like what they have with Franklin Templeton, where the tokenized assets are not only issued through Stellar, but records of the transaction are also recorded on the Stellar network. Ultimate utility. Can't get mad at that. In addition, Archax institutions will now be able to tokenize on the XLM network as well. Archax is a UK-based institution, so we'll start to see a lot more UK-based institutions having the opportunity to tokenize on the XLM network. The UK market, when it comes to tokenization, still kind of small, but Archax is the leader, and if they decided to go with Stellar, this is a win-win for everybody. Now, track record for Archax. I love to see this. If you go to rwa.xyz, they've already tokenized $70 million on the XRP ledger. This shows that they can actually do what they said they were going to do. They've established relationships with several other digital assets that we are very familiar with. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, they brought BlackRock's money market fund to Hedera. Hedera served as the transaction layer for that particular transaction and the tokenization layer as well. On top of that, I was running through their blogs. August 7th, they announced that they'll be tokenizing commercial real estate on the XDC network. So Archax has their fingers in just about everything. But to this point, it's been primarily focused in their market, the UK market, EU. Well, earlier in the year, they acquired Global Cap Private Markets. Now, what's interesting about this company, they're an SEC registered alternative trading system. And what Archax plans to do, rebrand the company into Archax US. So they'll be making their move into the US market very soon. Now, when you take those two details and you add them together, it would appear that Stellar could be their primary rail when it comes to tokenizing US products based on what they've seen Franklin Templeton do already. That's what I expect to see from that. Now, early in 2024, Archax also brought its money market fund to Algorand in a collaborative effort with Quantos. Quantos was the stablecoin issuer on Algorand that gave them the first ever MiCA compliant stablecoin. So they already have a MiCA compliant stablecoin in the EU. Now they have Archax as the ultimate tokenization engine. Archax seems to be very focused on a particular pocket of assets. I find that to be intriguing. At the end of the day, I expect Archax to use XLM for settlement or issuance of these money market funds and other tokenized assets. With their expansion into the US through Archax markets after the acquisition of GlobalCap, man, you've already seen what can be done on Stellar by another US based institution. Just follow the same blueprint. That's all they got to do. Now, let's switch it up a little bit and just dig back into this PayPal USD approval. You can see here by the X post, they got that all important non-objection letter. Now that this non-objection letter has been passed, they have the go-ahead to embed PayPal USD into the Stellar network. Now that this is official, the PayFi ecosystem activates. This is why I've been telling you guys so much about it in the last few months, because I saw a pattern forming. We now have Visa officially involved with Stellar, Stripe officially involved with Stellar, PayPal officially involved with Stellar. What more convincing do you really need at this point? And once Paxos gets that official charter, this elevates the entire game. The OCC actually just came out on X stating that they're getting ready to loosen the reins on the digital asset space. So they're encouraging companies like Paxos, other stablecoin issuers, other financial services providers to come to them with what they have, because they are ready to see the industry expand. All the pieces are truly coming together, ladies and gentlemen. And there was another announcement that I feel XLM may or may not be a part of. Talking about Wyoming's new stablecoin. So this morning, they announced a rebrand from the WYST to now, I believe it's FYST. Still the Wyoming-based stablecoin. It will still run on Avalanche. But here's the kicker. They also announced that the stablecoin will be embedded into the RAIN stablecoin debit card platform. Now, we reported on RAIN's stablecoin debit card platform a few months ago, and we discovered that not only will it run on Avalanche, it will run on Solana, Ethereum, and Stellar Lumens. So Visa has selected its assets. When a non-crypto person comes to you and asks you, why should I be interested in crypto? Who would I know that is already building on it? Tell them to open their wallet and look at their debit card. You see that little company right there? Yeah, they're building actively with these digital assets, but it's only a few of them. So you got to pay close attention. Like I said, I don't know what more convincing do you need. Now, this is a story that's not connected, but as I was, preparing for this piece, it popped up on the radar. We now have another stablecoin on the XLM network, and this one is coming out of South Africa. Zcoin has deployed the first ever South African Rand denominated stablecoin on the Stellar network. We'll touch more about that topic maybe later on in the week. When it comes to Stellar and Africa, my emotions get involved a little bit, guys, because their work, it's in a different vein. And I believe Africa is the next great mecca, the next great digital asset hub. Like UAE may have had this decade. The United States is trying to carve a lane. But when we get on the other side of 2030, it'll all be Africa. 2030 to 2040, that'll be the Africa decade for digital assets. I promise you, okay? I promise you. But South African Rand stablecoin coming to XLM, guys, that just deepens the liquidity, deepens the value that XLM can offer the African continent. And you can't get mad at that at all. So with that, guys, that's all I got for this one. Again, when it comes to XLM and the moves they've made in the last few months, they are orbiting around the right companies. when it comes to XLM and Archax, like I said, I expect to see money market funds and their other products tokenized and or issued on XLM. Now that PayPal USD is here, this pulls Stellar. This activates the PayFi ecosystem that includes the names Visa, Stripe, PayPal, Circle, Tether. The list goes on, guys. My heart is, of course, in sports related adoption, but I'm fully okay with big businesses coming along, using PayPal, using XLM through PayPal or Venmo to move money around. Perfectly okay with that. So with that, guys, don't forget, if you want more crypto intel, head over to digitalhustlenetwork.net. As always, y'all know what time it is. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.